Місяць листопад присвячений поминанням Голодомору в Україні 1932 і 1933 років. З цього приводу було представлено нової цікавої книжки – збірки записів з щоденника журналіста Гарет Джонс, яку видав доктор Любомир Лецюк.
Tell them we are starving. Книжка, яка випустив професор Любомир Лецюк, зімпонувала нам в Унії. І думка була відразу, щоб зробити такий бук-ланч.
На презентації книжки професор Любомир Лецюк розповів присутнім, як він дізнався про існування щоденників Гарета Джонса. І треба віддати йому належне за те, що щоденники було збережено, розшифровано та опубліковано.
In 2006, and those of you who acquire the book will see a photograph of this in the book, working with the Association of Ukrainians in Great Britain and the Ukrainian Canadian Civil Liberties Association, we put up a plaque to honor Gareth Jones, and you'll see later why we would bother. A plaque that is installed now in the Great Hall of the University of Aberystwyth, which was where Gareth Jones got his university degree. That plaque is the world's only English, Ukrainian, and Welsh Gaelic plaque. And on that occasion, I had the great privilege of meeting the late Dr. Margaret Cyril Colley. She was Gareth Jones's niece. And at the same time, I had an opportunity to meet Nigel Leeson Colley, her son. When I encountered them at this plaque unveiling, of course it was a very pleasant event, everyone was in a good mood, we spoke about the Gareth Jones diaries. This is the first time I'd heard of them. Dr. Colley and her son said that they had diaries that Gareth Jones had written while he was actually walking through villages in eastern Ukraine in March of 1933.
В 2006 році на відкритті меморіальної дошки в Аблсворth університеті, там, де Гарет Джон вчився, посол України в Англії тоді назвав Гарета Джонса «Unsung Hero of Ukraine». Чи ви думаєте, що ваше видання трошки може поправити цю справу? Тому що я вважаю, як і ви, і також, напевно, громада світова українська, що Гарет Джонс не дізнав признання потрібного, належного у світі.
Publishing this book, putting Gareth Jones's diaries about his experiences in Soviet Ukraine during the Holodomor on the public record in his own handwriting with transcriptions, thanks to Ray Gamache and Nigel Leeson Colley, is another way of recalling Gareth Jones. But I think much more needs to be done. I think Ukraine owes this man, who may well have given his life for Ukraine, by telling the truth about the Holodomor, more than just a token recognition at a commemorative event. My friend Stavko Bandera has suggested, and I would love to steal the idea, but it really is his idea, that the old statue that used to stand on the Khreshchatyk in Kyiv, where Lenin used to stand, should be replaced now with a statue to Gareth Jones, because he was a man who told the truth about one of the greatest genocides to affect 20th century Europe.
Переглядаючи його щоденники Гарета Джонса, чи ви побачили там, чи відкрили для себе ще щось нове про Голодомор, про ті часи, про географію, про ту ситуацію, яка тоді існувала в Україні?
I think what the Gareth Jones diaries do is that they give us a direct, personal, intimate eyewitness account of famine conditions in Soviet Ukraine in March of 1933. We have journalists who've written about their impressions, like Malcolm Muggeridge, for example, but we don't have his diaries or any direct notes. This is the first-hand primary source material. There's nothing else like this in the world that I'm aware of. So what Gareth Jones's diaries do is they elaborate upon and inform us with specific details about specific places. What this does really, however, is give us the impressions of a young, very intelligent, insightful, and observant journalist traveling in the villages of eastern Ukraine on his way to Kharkiv at a time when famine was raging in the spring of 1933. So is there anything that I didn't know there? No, but because this is a primary source material, I'm sure that other scholars who are more interested, for example, in Soviet economic history or the economic history or politics of Ukraine in the interwar period will find this book quite useful.
У цій книжці є копії факсимільного щоденника Гарета Джонса. І я переглядала і зрозуміла, що треба бути добрим детективом, щоб розшифрувати, що там написано.
Well, Gareth Jones, because he was fluent in English, French, German, Russian, and Welsh, kept a diary note in a very almost intimate way. He would scribble things as he was talking. When he thought that he might be writing something that could be controversial or seen as being political, he would write, for example, in Welsh. Or he would use captions, or he would use abbreviations. So when you see the facsimiles of his diaries, and they're all reproduced here, there's no page missing, and we did that deliberately so that no one says, oh, well, they took out the pages that didn't, go with their thesis. Everything he wrote in the 3 diaries he kept in Ukraine in the famine period is in this book, along with facsimiles. And it clearly shows a very observant young man who is recording everything he sees and thinking about it. But yes, you need to be very patient to go through the facsimile version, and that's why we insisted on transcripts.
Ваша книжка, це видання, є своєрідним пам'ятником тому героїчному журналістові Гарету Джонсу. І будемо надіятися, що наступний пам'ятник буде так, як ви сказали, як Стефко Бандера пропонує у Києві на Бессарабці.
Дай Боже, I think this is a man who gave up his career and quite possibly his life for telling the truth about the Holodomor. He is one of Ukraine's righteous, if you like. Why wouldn't we honor him? It's honoring a man who saw and wrote about it, told the truth, and was punished for it by some of the leading journalists of his time, like Walter Duranty, because he told the truth, and that was inconvenient for the Soviet authorities. It was a crime they were trying to cover up, a genocide. He told the truth, he was punished, his career was destroyed, and he may have himself been murdered because of it. I think that it goes without saying that Ukraine has a moral duty to remember Gareth Jones.